Hey YouTubers, welcome back to Mama's Orchids. So I have this Vanda, gorgeous Vanda, and as you remember my last couple of video I mentioned that I have never bloomed a Vanda before. This is the first one. I've had this one since 2017, February, and it's finally blooming. It was a baby, or baby-ish, and of course it takes Vandas a long time before they get into a blooming age. So, and I'm super proud of it. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. So let's get started. Okay, first, let me give you the name. This is Vanda Kulwadee Fragrant. And I've heard it called Fragrance before with a CE in the back, not T. And then it's in the particular one is Pink Spot. And I am not sure if this one is actually Pink Spot. I see more purple in it than pink, so maybe someone can comment and let me know if I got the right one. It doesn't really matter to me if the name's, well, it matters to me that the name's correct, but I really like this one. And I also, as I was Googling, I noticed that there is a black one, which is gorgeous. I would love to get my hands on a black one. Anyhow, so this orchid is, for me, I've had it since 2017. It's 2020, and it's about 3 years now. I think I might have mentioned before I've had it for 4 years. It's actually 3, now that I've had a chance to look it up. Let me give you a spin, and I've got it set up on a Lazy Susan with a yellow vase propped up to give me enough height to comfortably work with it, so you can see. And I'm super proud of it because for a first bloom, it sure is many and rewarding. I had no idea that this is a one that comes with clusters. It had so many, and honestly, I had one bud that fell off when I was working with it. While it was in spike, I had remounted it, or not resituated into this plastic container. This is an upside down cake cover that I have rigged it to be a container for this orchid. It originally was mounted. I had it upside down. Well, I had it upright for a while, and I noticed I had killed another Vanda, a young one, that rotted from the center when water got in it. So this time I said, well, let me be careful with these young ones and just let it stay upside down. So that's what I did. And that's why you're going to see, when I'm going to talk about the blooms later, something odd about the bloom. Okay. Well, actually, let me go ahead and talk about the bloom right now. So this one has a lot of blooms. This one, let me see if I can get you to close up down to the stem. This stem has 1 bud, 2 bud, 3, 4, 5 down here, and then there's one here on this side, 6. But then you have this very tip one. This bud never matured. It just browned, maybe because I just didn't water it enough once it was it's mounted, you know, or something. It was stressed or something that it just didn't matured. And I have one bud that fell off, by the way. So this is the one that fell off right here where it's browning. So you can imagine it would have been fully, you know, flowers are all over. And give you another, I'm going to back up a little bit. Okay, give your spin on it. So you can see from the bottom too. And I think that's just a light difference that you see. Let me tip this over so you can see better the bottom. The bottom one seems a little bit darker. See how there's a little more purple and bluish, lavenderish color to it. The top is the younger buds, and the bottom ones have been open for over a week now. Okay, and so something odd about, see the orientation of the buds or the flowers. If you notice the lip, let me see if I can free my hand while I'm holding this here. Let go of this and put it back up. Okay. If you look at the flower, I have the lip upside down. So the lip is north and this lip is north because it opened while I had it mounted upside down. And when I mean I had it mounted, here, let me take one and you can see from this one. So I had it like this, okay? And now I have it upright. And while I had it upright, the other buds opened up or started maturing and opened up. Like this one started coming back upright, and this one, okay? And this one for sure. So, okay? So then the orientation, it turned and, okay. So this guy used to be mounted upside down because, you know, as I said, I didn't want the center rod. And by the way, this rubber band is here to keep it from one of the leaves, to keep it from hitting the bloom. And it just so happened coincidentally that I found a purple rubber band around a broccoli I took off and just had it and inserted there and tied it. Now this was upside down, and then so a couple of weeks ago, I think I made a video of this guy in spike. And let me see if I can find a picture for you of it while it was in spike. So, and all right, I'm going to bring you to a picture. Okay. And there is a picture of it. Hope you can see that. Okay. All right. And then let me also bring you to a video that I made that would give you an idea of the reference point of what I'm talking about when I had it in spike. All right, bring you over there in a second here. There we go. There it is. This is the video I made. It's on, and I'll try to see if I can put a link to this video, but this orchid is the Kulwadee, and you can see the label right there. Okay, and then you're going to ask me, why do I have the second one earlier? This one. Why do I have this one that looks just like this one? Okay, and I'll explain that. So this guy, when I first got it, this Kulwadee fragrance, when I first got it, it was in a little bag, an orchid bag from Lowe's. It's one of those bag orchids from Lowe's. And let's see, when I was going through their lot, there was a bag that I noticed that was really neat. It was thick, it was more lush, had more leaf. However, the orchid was smaller. This particular Vanda was smaller than the other choices. But however, it had a lot of leaves on it. So I went ahead and took a look at it carefully. And let me bring you there to my picture that I found. Okay, so this is when I bought it. I just bought it. It was, I believe, February 2017. Okay, now it does look really lush, lots of leaf. Well, I looked at it carefully and I noticed there were 2 orchids in this basket. So how lucky was I? I said, you know what? Let me just get this one. It's a little shorter and smaller than the other choices. However, I get 2 for the price of 1 though. So I went ahead and got it and separated. Of course, you know, damaged some roots in the process, but that's okay. And separated them and had it mounted. I mean, had it upside down not too long later. Okay, let me see if I can find a picture of it, like about a year later. Let me see if I can find a picture of this orchid a year later. And there it is. Okay. Sorry, I'm taking you everywhere. I'm trying to scroll through the pictures carefully here. So this is the orchid about 2018. I mean, it's elongated, but I didn't get many leaves later. And I think it's because I just didn't water very well. But now, now that I've been taking care of it more, it's gotten more leaves. And I was still getting frustrated that it wouldn't bloom, but never gave up hope, and it's so rewarding. So, but anyway, and so this is his, I'm sorry, I'm sidetracking here. This is his sister or brother, whatever, sibling. This is the second one of that. And honestly, it's funny, but this one for me is healthier, and yet it's not in bloom. It's got more leaves, I feel like. Maybe not, I don't know. Let's see if I can count later. But here, let me lay it down so that I can back it up because I'm holding it in my hand. And so this one, I have it also hanging upside down. And I have an outdoor shower, so I have it hanging out outside, and it gets plenty of water from that shower. And I think that's what's making the difference now of how healthy it is. It wants to be watered very frequently. All right, and I need to cut off some of the dead roots from the winter. I wasn't able to keep it nice and moist in the winter, or often watered. But okay. I want to tell you about the fragrance of this orchid. It's actually very sweet, but it's subtle. The fragrance is subtle and sweet, and it happens more when, of course, the sun is out and on it, and in the middle of the day also, more often in the middle of the day. All right, and about growing it, let's see, definitely morning sun, water very frequently, and you know, I actually water it more often in the evening because that's when we have our shower going outside, and it just so happens that. Let's see, what else? I do spray it now. I spray it with the Better Grow, Better Bloom, and once a week with a spray bottle. And just this week, I have put this orchid into this plastic container. This morning, I soaked it in the plastic container for about 30 minutes. And you know what's nice about putting it in this plastic container? Keeps the roots in control as far as staying within a certain area. If I kept it freely like this and trying to dunk it once a day in the what do you call it, in the bucket, it's just, I feel like I sometimes would break some of these roots trying to manage it all the time in and out of the bucket. So I came up with this system where I just soak it. And I'm sorry, I don't know if I said it, soak it once a week. I really need to do it more often, actually. If I had it in the shower outside, it would just get sprayed every day, once or twice a day. But being that it's in this bucket, And it's since it's blooming, I like to keep it indoor to enjoy. So I would soak it, I think, just like you would if it was in growing stage outside. Once a day would be good, okay? And then spray with that Better Grow. And definitely morning sun, and actually during the winter I gave it some full sun, in fact. Some full afternoon sun. And that's basically it. Just really pretty flowers. I love, let me talk a little bit, actually, a few more comments about the bloom. It's really neat. I don't know if you can, the camera's picking up the colors of the petal, but what's neat about it is the bottom two petals have a tint of yellow in the background, and the top three are, you know, pure white with some splotches. And the textures of the petal, the leaf is thick, not super thick, like I would say probably as thick as the phals, you know, but it's really neat. So I hope that since it's thick, I hope it's long blooming. But I will see how long this will go for me. It's hard to get a really, really nice static picture of this because this is more like a bouquet. You know, it's a 360 dimension of the bloom. It's hard to tell what a best shot is. And then I have all these leaves in the way. There. All right. This is a good place to end right here. All right. Well, thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.